want? What you want? Come on. What you want? What you want? Come on.
You're getting back, and as promised, more videos to come. Now, this video is going to be Wii U good and bad. I'm not gonna basically sugarcoat nothing. I'm gonna give the goods, I'm gonna give the bads, and this is basically fans, developers, games, the system itself, all that stuff, right? Okay, let's start out. Okay, the Wii U is coming out. It's coming out this year. Gonna be at a certain price. Whatever it is, I'm still getting one launch date. Still gonna enjoy it. Still gonna love it. But there's some of the things that people just eat up and just accept because it's Nintendo. But before I get into that, let's start off with the goods. System is going to be playing 1080p standards, according to developers. A lot of the games that everyone's been dogging, like, you know, the Sony fanboys saying that, oh, it's going to be low-end PS3 or it's not going to be better than PS3, will now establish that games like Assassin's Creed 3 is going to be running at 1080p, 60 frames a second, which is amazing. And consoles today can't do that. More than likely, Assassin's Creed PS3 is going to be running at like 720p or whatever it is, or some sort of like, you know, like changed up aspect ratio for it to run at, it looks almost 1080p with like great frames per second, you know what I'm saying, because of hardware, 10-year-ago hardware and all that other stuff. Which also, the people that keep making these videos about the Wii U is going to be better than the Xbox and the PS3 and all that stuff, I don't know if it's like, okay, yeah, it has to be about views, because what is the point of basically comparing you know what I'm saying? That's like comparing the Galaxy what is it? The Galaxy Vibrant, which is the Galaxy S1, to the Galaxy S3. Why would you compare the Galaxy S1 to the Galaxy S3? The Galaxy S3 just fucking came out, which means it has better hardware, better graphics, better display, better everything. It's a new year, technology only gets better and better. Regardless if it's like an older version of a video card, if the card just released, there's new features and new shit that was added to it. There's an older processor and a new version of the processor. New shit added to it, built better, smaller, more efficient. Just like a graphics engine. An old engine compares to a new engine. The new engine doesn't always necessarily means better graphics. It means bugs fixes, less of a resource hog compared to like the version before, like Crytek Engine 1, using so much fucking resources of your computer, and the game looks great but cannot play well because no matter what fucking hardware you have compared to the Crytek Engine 3, you know, it looks great, it looks the same, some stuff may be taken out, but it plays better, less of a resource hog, all that other stuff, better developed, you know what I'm saying? So when these games come out and all this other stuff, these people completely forget that the system's going to be better because it's coming out 2012, early 2013. You know what I'm saying? Compared to something that's like 7 years old. But anyways, that I just had to get that out there. You know, like the point of referencing an old ass system to a new system, it was gonna be better regardless if Nintendo didn't go all out on the graphics card. It was gonna have better features. So going on, yeah, the game's playing in 1080p. You know, the controller is awesome. The controller, and I didn't accept the controller because I'm a Nintendo fan. I accept the controller because I'm just a tech junkie and I want to see how it works. You know what I'm saying? What else? The games that are coming out. Rumors that studios that Nintendo fans, the real Nintendo fans from back in the day, is looking forward to come back. You know what I'm saying? Now there's developers are starting to support it all over again. Developers aren't saying, oh, we're going to support it and not show up. They're actually speaking out, showing stuff, giving a lot more than they did. Basically like the SNES days, you know what I'm saying? And this is basically like the modern age SNES, which is a great thing because it was a great system. What's it called? The secondary controller that looks like the Xbox controller, which I don't, whatever, let's not get into that. All the great things, Nintendo Network, finally having online. What else? Downloadable games, downloading retail games, basically having a Nintendo Steam, you know what I'm saying? Great stuff. All those good things. Updates after updates, using multiple controllers, multiple Wii U Wiimote controllers, bringing back the Wiimote, all that good stuff. Great, amazing. But now for the bad. Okay. A lot of people a lot of people who are Nintendo fans seem to like. Let's get this one out the way. The Wii U exposed people, or the bandwagon jumpers. Basically, Nintendo fans calling Xbox and PS3 bandwagon jumpers for accepting the Wii U itself because they always hated Nintendo, they expected it. A lot of the reason, or main reasons why the PS3 fan base and the Xbox fan base basically excluded the Wii U itself was because Nintendo didn't come out first showing off exclusive Mario this, Mario that, Zelda this, that. It was a third-party developer like motherfuckers. A lot of Nintendo fans don't remember that the NES was all like about 80% of the fucking games were third-party. To the point where they excluded third-party to make games to other developers. I completely forgot about that. And most of these dudes just talking about fuck the Wii and all that stuff is because all that third-party left. They were Nintendo fans from back in the day, and now they're getting the games that they like, the third-party developers that they followed from the SNES, the NES, and on, you know what I'm saying? Look at the spike sales, look at the fan base from the SNES, the NES, to the N64, to the GameCube, to, you know what I'm saying? It slightly dropped with fan base because all those third-party games were gone. Because sometimes not only developers, you know, the first-party games is what pulled Nintendo fans. It was the third-party. So calling these guys bandwagon jumpers is mad hypocrite because they are going back to their roots of the company that pulled them into gaming first, or a majority of them first, back to it now. Because what does it have? The graphics that they're used to, that they're known for. I mean, the graphics that today's standards is 1080p TVs, 720p TVs, desktops with fucking 2160p resolutions and higher and up. Stuff that's given to them. Phones with higher resolutions than your handhelds. It's just normal stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, and here's the best part. They're saying that they're bandwagon jumpers because now they get their games back to it and they're supporting the system after disrespecting the Wii. You forget that the Wii didn't support a lot of the third party that these guys had, and if it did, it was a half-ass port. Now here's the part where the Nintendo fans are hypocrites. They're the same ones enjoying the Wii, loving the Wii, all this other stuff, calling Xbox and Sony fanboys hypocrites and bandwagon jumpers. But what is the number one video you see Nintendo fans talking about? Third-party games. Developers that they didn't care about last generation or the generation before, talking about is supported, the graphics that is given, all this other stuff, jumping on a developer that they didn't support because one, they only owned the Nintendo system and hated everything else. Two, they didn't even know about it. Three, they hated it because of the Sony fan base, that's all they talked about, and not supporting like Zelda and stuff like that. So now they're supporting it. Who's the bandwagon jumper now? You're not jumping from system to system, but you're jumping to what those Xbox and Sony fanboys were fucking jumping to the system for. What is the number one thing that you got Nintendo fans say about Sony and Xbox fanboys? They don't buy their exclusives. What do they buy? Third party, which are the developers that you guys are now supporting and hounding your nuts over. I just had to close that out there. A hypocrite is a hypocrite. You know, you don't know what you talk as if you're like this badass and this and that, but you don't even see past your own bullshit. Okay, now moving on. Nintendo now doing digital downloads. Now, a lot of Nintendo fans are gonna be like, well, we already said this, it's not a problem to us, this and that. Digital downloads. Downloading a 1 to 2 gig game, 700 megabytes game to your Wii. Only problem is, the Wii U does not come with a hard drive. It's a known thing, yes, it doesn't come with a hard drive. It comes with 8 gigs internal, right? Now, a lot of these guys are defending it, saying that Nintendo did this, you know, for you to buy an external hard drive and all this other stuff. No, it is Nintendo's fault for the 3DS losing money And now, what is it? As of like a few months ago, it's not losing money. Like I said before, it was. I said like a video a long time ago. It's gonna lose some money for a while until technology gets older. The cost of the system is less now than it was when they were building it at first. So now they're making a shitload of revenue on it, which is too late because of the budget on the Wii U, excluding a hard drive because of the money loss, the cutback, the paybacks, and all that other stuff, to take out the hard drive and not pushing the power of the system. Iwata's already said this, so go ahead and say I'm crazy. So it's Nintendo's the budget why there's no hard drive in the system. If Nintendo had a shitload of money, they could have put a 32 gig, a 50 gig, whatever in there. You know what I'm saying? 16 is even better. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't. They put 8 gigs internal flash, which is not mainly for you. It's just for the system updates and whatever shit Nintendo decides to give you for their operating system and all that other stuff for their UI and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Later on the line when they come out with Nintendo TV and all that other stuff. You know how much memory that's going to take up, especially now that shit's playing in 1080p? So don't think that 8 gigs is for you to download and all the other shenanigans. It's not. So one of the things that these guys are saying, go out and buy an external hard drive. Go out and buy an external memory card. I don't have a problem with that, but there's an issue. This is not 100%. These have a high failure rate than an internal hard drive. Why? It's not because of the hard drive. This sometimes goes on for years. I have one that I've been using since 2006. So I know that, but it's this. Sometimes the length of the cable causes a slow transfer rate. The cable thickness causes a slow transfer rate, which, you know what I'm saying? Bending the cable, bending all this other stuff, buying an SD card and all that other stuff. The transfer rate is not that fresh. Remember, you're downloading a digital game of an 8 gig or sometimes a 4 gig game that you're going to be transferring from this to, and then on top of that, it's a 2.0. Transferring from that to a memory card. Some memory cards have high transfer rate and all the other stuff, but being that it's not an internal hard drive, transfer rate from an external device isn't always that powerful. Being that this is not hooked up to a power cable, it's not hooked up to an AC device, it's not going to transfer as fast. So loading a game directly off of the Wii U, the Wii U hard drive, your external hard drive, it's not going to be that fast. It's you know what I'm saying? Regardless of what the Wii U power is, the transfer rate from an external device to the actual thing compared to an internal hard drive is going to cause an issue. It's going to cause an issue. So don't sit there and say, oh, this is great, this and that. It's not. It's not. Yes, those are, and a lot of you guys keep forgetting this. A lot of these dudes that keep making these videos are saying, oh, the Wii U, it's not a problem for me to go and buy a hard drive. Now, what Nintendo's from the Wii launch, fan base has changed. It has. Tell me it hasn't. Tell me it's the same fan base from before so I can backhand the shit out of you. It's kids and parents now. There isn't gonna be a mom that goes out and buys a fucking Wii U and the son wants to download digital games and says, hey mom, can you go buy me a hard drive? Can you buy me a USB hard drive? There's not a lot of parents that's gonna do that. There's gonna be a lot of kids that have no idea what the fucking external hard drive is. You know what I'm saying? Remember, a majority of the fan base, like 70 to 75% of the fan base is children and parents. And then when it comes to parents, some of these parents bought the Wii for easy, on-the-go use. Easy to use. Not to go out and buy this, then buy this, then buy this for the shit to work. So, yes, you're going to go out and buy it because you're a gamer, you're a tech. You've already taught yourself what to do to make it better. You know what I'm saying? Like you go out and you bought a whole ass Civic and you put shit in it. Compared to a person that goes out and buy a brand new BMW, has no idea what the fuck to put in the shit. You just bought that shit as a simplistic device for it to work as you bought it. So a lot of you guys keep taking that shit out of proportion. Like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a hard drive. That's simple and all that other shit. It's not simple for a lot of the purchasers. It's not. If and on top of it, it's a USB connected device. It's not like the Xbox where it's an actual clip-on where the shit's not gonna move or shake. Because remember, this moves and shakes. Where are you gonna keep it? You're gonna lay it on a desk? Especially if it's a kid, it's gonna lay on a desk, bending the cable back and forth. What's that gonna cause? Rippage in the cable. You know what I'm saying? You know, guys, a lot of these dudes don't think about that stuff. And the next thing, what the guys have been talking about in PLG is I'm gonna show you, check out this real quick, right here. Okay, this is basically a patent of Nintendo. I've already stated this, that the Wii U controller is gonna be used as actual TV screen. It has its own infrared bar and all the other stuff and sensor bar on the top of the Wii U controller. But there are people that are saying that, hey, that's cool. I'm gonna sit back from a 6-inch display, step back 4 or 5 feet, and point my Wiimote at it, and use it as a TV. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's another one of those things. Take it because it's Nintendo and love it. I don't see not one person saying that's fucking crazy. Think about this. Think about this. Call me a hater. Everyone knows I'm a Nintendo fan. Call me a hater. My 3DS sits that close to me all the fucking time. My Wiimote sits that close to me all the fucking time because on my monitor, I have my Wii here and then I have my Wii over there. So if I don't feel like going to the TV, I got it right here next to my other Wii. So I'm saying, this shit don't go that far from me. So go ahead, say I'm a Nintendo hater, whatever. That's cute. That's usually defense. Oh, he fucking hates Nintendo because he talks negative. No, that's because I'm not a fanboy. Now, let's go into perspective. The Wii U controller is what, 6 inches, right? This is my wife's tablet. This is a 7-inch display. It's a lot bigger, just an inch bigger. So now I'm gonna sit this about 6 feet away with the sensor, and I'm gonna point this as an adult or a child, point this at the fucking thing and see that small sensor, that small cursor from 5 fucking feet with a Wiimote. Does that make any fucking sense? No matter how good your vision is, a 6-inch display from a 5-foot distance is crazy small for you to be pointing this. Now, there's no problem using that shit as a controller or your own separate screen without using a pointer. That's awesome. That's the only time I'm ever going to use that shit for. Now, I'm not going to be pointing that shit, sitting at a point. Come on, man. You know what that's going to do to a child's vision? You know what it's going to do to your vision? Especially for a grandmother, which is what Nintendo is aiming for. Or adult. More users. More interface. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're aiming for. So for you to say that that's cool, that's awesome, I'm gonna use it, you're crazy for saying that shit is like, it's absurd to some of these guys say. It really is. It really is. And one of the other things, real quick, the Wii U, a lot of these guys talking about the frame rate drop using the Wii U pad. We've been doing this for years and years and years. Whenever you're playing a single player game, it looks great. The graphics look amazing. It looks awesome when you're playing single player. You do split screen or you add another controller to it, the developers by default drop the frame rate to 30 frames per second by standard and default, and sometimes if not the frame rate, they lower the graphic visuals so that it can run better without an issue. This has been going on for fucking years. So to say that, yeah, there's going to be a Wii U game that runs at 30 frames per second, when you add another Wii U pad to it, it's going to drop to 15 frames per second. That's absurd. It does that to 30 frames per second just to do that. And then on top of that, it may sometimes drop between 25, because think about it, it's two separate displays with separate things. Like, okay, I'm the top screen or the side controller. I'm the side screen, you're the side screen. I'm looking at a flame or an explosion while you're looking at water texture. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? You as the gamer that uses your knowledge, especially if you're a PC elitist, you would know that looking at two different things would do two different type of graphics, fixtures, textures, and all that stuff. What's gonna happen? Frame rate's gonna drop. But it's not gonna drop to like 15 or nothing like that. By standard, it's been going on in games for fucking since Xbox and PlayStation. Frame rate drops when a second controller jumps in. It's simple as that. That argument is over. So that's really all I got. If there's anything that I missed, guys, definitely let me know. But the good and the bad, the non-fanboys that know what they're talking about and accept it and don't accept the bullshit, compared to the fucking the no's, the guys that accept it even though it sucks and all this other bullshit. That's crazy. It's crazy to me that some of you guys are fanboys like that. I'm not. Fuck that. It's DC19 your Gaming Tech. Leave your thoughts, leave your likes and everything, and what else you'd like for me to talk about.